Hello guys, and thanks for tuning into my channel, and a big thanks to everybody who has recently subscribed to my channel and left so many words of encouragement. I really appreciate that very much, guys. And today, before we get started, I am wearing my SEIKO SKX007, and man, that is a watch that I don't think I'm ever gonna sell. It just has so many memories and experiences attached to that watch, and that's what happens to these types of timepieces, right? That we wear every day and enjoy. We tend to just collect memories with those pieces, experiences, and we meet people, and that becomes part of the whole story of that timepiece. And then, of course, there are those times where we have certain pieces as collectors in our collection of watches that we feel it's time for that piece to go and make room for another new piece that we can start enjoying that and so forth. And that is what this video is about today. I'm talking about, of course, my SEIKO 300 meter Tuna SBBN035. And I feel like I'm going to sell this watch along with a couple of other watches just to make room for this watch that I really want. And unfortunately, I've got to create like this budget for it in order to get it. But before I let it go, I wanted to at least make this short video and let you guys know what it's been like owning this piece and give you guys some insight in case you're looking at it for purchasing it for yourself. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and put the specs up on the screen for you, and feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit more time to go over those elements. And also keep in mind that these are measurements that I took firsthand. Initially, I decided I wanted to pick up a watch that would make a lot of sense in the way that I could just leave it on my wrist most of the time, and also it could act like a grab and go piece, as well as I needed something that can keep up with me as far as the things that I do daily, whether it be work on the house or go to the gym or go out for a run. So there's a lot of impact that's going to be happening, and the quartz movement just made more sense. So my new everyday wear watch is going to have to be able to be set down for a day, 2 or 3, and not have to worry about it being wound. Now that I have my needs and specifications identified, I decided on looking at the SEIKO Tuna. The other side of that coin is that I quickly found out that the SBB035 has its own personality, and it is such that this guy is like, look, I'm here to just work. I'm not here to help you impress your friends or even impress you or even help you get your date on Saturday night. I can help you get to your date on Saturday night on time, because I am actually pretty accurate up to about 15 seconds per month, but that is about it. And it's meant to work, and it works very well. The history behind this a little bit is as follows. Okay, there is a situation where SEIKO got a call from, or a letter from, a saturation diver that complained about his SEIKO watch failing under pressure as the helium gases tried to escape. They had no choice but to go through the crystal gaskets, and that caused that to come off and the watch to just completely fail. And this guy was pissed. I mean, he was lit. So SEIKO took this very seriously, and they in turn charged Akio Tokunaga, I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, the chief engineer over at SEIKO, to go ahead and begin making something that's not going to fail under pressure. And so they gave him free reign, and he went ahead and put together this squad of mad scientists or other engineers, and they went berserk. And they went berserk for 7 years, and the result is the SEIKO Tuna. And that's it. It is just meant to work, and it's meant to be robust, and it's meant not to fail. It's not meant to do anything else, guys. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and start talking about, well, what makes this watch so appealing to me, and actually to many of us. And I would say that starts with the engineering on it. The form actually follows the function, not the other way around. So everything in this watch, as I mentioned before, is just meant to do something. A basis of design that I would compare the Tuna to would be something like a tank. A tank is something that is designed and engineered with armor and shielding, so it'll be able to protect itself so it can perform on the field without failure. Now, if we go and look at the Tuna has this stainless steel shroud all around the case. You see this also partially protecting the bezel, and then that kind of acts like a crown guard, if you will. If you really analyze it, this thing doesn't have any crown guards. The shroud itself acts like the crown guard, and that crown is like super, super easy to work with. It's like it's meant to do it like this, right? So it's got a double domed crystal. It is a Hardlex crystal, not a sapphire. I have not seen any scratches or anything on this thing. I don't know if they're maybe using a different formula for the Tuna models in this range, but I haven't seen any damages. Also, another thing that is appealing is, of course, it doesn't have any lugs, so it fits very well on the wrist. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then let's not forget the movement. It is a 7-jewel quartz movement in this thing. The rotating bezel is typical SEIKO. Let's take a listen. Very smooth, very typical SEIKO, you know, and like I said before, it rears nicely. Here I am at my desk doing probably the only diving that this watch is going to see. And for a watch that stands as tall as over 15 millimeters, it actually doesn't wear bad at all on my 6.5-inch circumference wrist. Visibility at night is magnificent, as you can imagine. I understand that this particular SBBN035, this generation, they actually started adding a little bit more Aluminibright to their formula, and transitioning from light to dark areas here and there is really, the visibility doesn't get lost. It's great during the day and it's phenomenal during the night. The only thing I will say though is sometimes in certain lighting areas, indoors rather, the light will hit that dome crystal in a way that'll kind of mess up your visibility, if you will. But when I go outside, I have noticed that in the sunlight, it's actually very good. It doesn't have the same effect as interior lighting. Wearability with the watch in jeans and t-shirt, as you can imagine, is great. You know, there's no problem. Jeans and t-shirts and shorts and t-shirts, I have no problems with it at all. And here I'm going to place it on my wrist next to my XKX just for comparison purposes. And actually, as you can see, it wears pretty well. I know I got a little bit higher up on my wrist, but believe me, it wears really well, very comparable to the SKX. If you can get away with an XKS, for sure you can get away with the SBBN035. Maybe try the SBBN047 if you want to go full monocoque. Here's the word that's so easy to make fun of in all of horology, right? Monocoque case design, and but that is the term. And maybe you can get away with that too. With these tunas, it really is kind of deceptive. The diameter guys, don't be too intimidated by it. They actually, remember, this is a lugless design, so if it's 47.5 or 49.5, you know, you also got to consider that that is the lug-to-lug dimension. Just for reference, on a lug-to-lug basis, the SLA051 that you see here, that's about 49 lug-to-lug. And then on my Rolex, we'll bring that out. So the Rolex is roughly, I'm just shooting from the hip here, I think it's about 48 lug-to-lug. And you can see here next to the SBBN 035 that it is indeed just a little bit longer lug to lug, although it wears really well on my wrist. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the strap that the Tuna comes with, and you'll see these ribs. These are meant to compress and extend out as maybe you're wearing a diver suit or something. You've got some texturing behind the strap itself. And of course, there's a floating keeper, and it's signed SEIKO on there. And of course, everything is blacked out. Everything's all murdered out. That's part of the ethos of this particular model. The strap itself is very comfortable. You got another insignia there at the end, typical SEIKO fashion, and it's actually very comfortable. I know I've referenced how comfortable this watch wears during the course of this video, and it's because it does actually wear very well. Can't say that enough. But you can actually switch out the strap to something else if you wish to. It's got drilled lugs, and this thing is a strap monster, and I've had it on a few different options. Before I forget, yes, you do have a dial and fully loomed indices. Of course, you've got a arrow hour hand, a sword minute hand, and a reverse olipop second hand, with also a date function with the day as well, which to me is a definite plus. So I think at the end of the day, none of us can deny the legendary status of the Seiko tuna and all of the contributions it has made to the dive watch research and development through various different watch brands throughout the industry. This watch for me, in this video that I reviewed today, the SBBN035, for me, it just lacked a little bit of personality. That's just my opinion. It really is a great watch. I think if I were to rewind my life and go back in time, I think I'd go for one of the stainless models. That's just my thought process here at this point. Maybe I'll add one of those in my collection in the future. But really, really a great watch. If you are looking for a watch that's going to be tough and robust in all conditions, and you prefer a watch that's made out of metal, like a stainless steel or a titanium, versus the other watches that are out there that are made out of plastic or some kind of polymer, this might be the watch for you. I strongly suggest you go ahead and continue to do research on it and give it a chance. It is a watch that is going to probably outlast you, maybe even your kids. It's rugged construction, modular 7C46 quartz movement inside there. It means you can actually replace parts if need be. Hell, you can even replace the whole engine if it breaks down in the future. You know, there's plenty to be had online if you do research on it. You can replace it easily. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done. I think that's all I'm going to say about this at this time. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun making this video, and I look forward to doing a little bit more content in the future for you guys as I get more watches in my collection. Thanks again for watching. I've got to go. I've got to get back to my day job. And so feel free to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Be safe. Peace.